Hello? Okay, I think we're ready. Might as well get that going. Okay. I do apologize if I sound tired. It's because I am. My work schedule is a bit odd at the minute. So I my 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 sleep schedule is also kind of off, but I was kind of feeling it, which I like kind of feeling the streaming mood, which makes literally no sense considering how usually I want to be like fairly high. Usually you'd want to be fairly high on energy when you try to stream, right? But I guess that's not the case here. I don't know why, but yeah, I guess I should probably clarify on what I'm doing here. The title kind of says it, or at least it should. But we have a big room. Yeah, big room. And we're planning on putting storage in here. And as you can realize that, yeah, for a storage room, pretty big. So I have some problems that naturally come with a big storage room that I need to alleviate. And one of those issues is making sure that it doesn't take too long to get from place to place. Now, granted, I could always fly, right? It's not, this room is very comfortable to fly in, even as we get more stuff in here, because like along these two pathways there's going to be like buildings kind of going down. It's kind of like how old westerns used to do it, where they would have the fronts of buildings. That's kind of what I'm going to be doing here, and there'll be storage kind of aligning along that. Hey Blue, how are you doing? Welcome in. It's like late afternoon where it is that you're at, so how's your afternoon going? But I guess the first thing I'm gonna have to end up doing is just getting rid of all this rock. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Okay, maybe that's a little too loud, because I don't want this to be too annoying to hear. It's okay, I'm just still getting over this virus. Seriously, still? Good grief, it is not letting up. Are you at least starting to recover, or is it still very much there? Because, like, it's been going for like a week and a half now, hasn't it? Hey, Toaster, how are you doing? Just chilling, digging out some bits for the new storage system. One of my main issues with this storage system at the minute is I'm gonna have to find a way to keep this place from lagging my computer, because naturally I'm gonna be trying, or maybe I can just like exclusively use barrels. This area is probably big enough I can get away with that, and just like have certain spaces dedicated to one item, like say gravel or stone or wood, what have you. Or I guess like specific kinds of woods, but I need to figure out if like the water streams of items will actually be able to load consistently while I'm around here, because if it doesn't, that's going to be an issue. Oreo chicken nugget stew strips. Hey Perp, in chat earlier, I did see this, but I didn't. I was so befuddled that I didn't know how to respond. Like, I imagine this is a made-up spell, because funny enough, I did actually look it up for a moment, and I saw nothing. So what is that spell even supposed to do? Or is it just a completely random thing? But yeah, how you doing, Perp? I went to doctors yesterday. They think it might be COVID. That I mean, honestly, makes sense. I was wondering about that. Oh, and before anybody asks, like the reason the stream is in 30 FPS is because I'm gonna be at like multiple things. It's basically a bunch of technical stuff, and I'm not gonna get how do I describe this without making it too accidentally complicated, because I tend to do that. So basically, I, as a YouTuber that isn't really partnered or anything, I have a lower priority when it comes to video quality. And such, basically, I have very limited options of what I can work with in order to make a stream look, you know, solid and not look like it has JPEG damage, basically. So, by decreasing it to 30 FPS, you have more data per frame. So, and because I'm working in quite a few dark areas this stream, I just figured it was going to be easier on the stream if I just kept it to that lower setting. So hopefully that explains that. It's supposed to send 2 hours of random chicken on a random farm, knows your exact location. Interesting. So apparently, chicken is living rent-free in Perp's mind at the minute. Sorry about that. I had something stuck in my mouth. Or my throat rather, had to cough it out. I've been debating on switching my hotkey to like my mouse button, but I don't think it's that serious. But yeah, it's been a while since I've worked at the single player world, and that's mostly for a couple of different reasons. The next video should be, I gotta make sure I actually wash my pickaxes here, because I'm definitely gonna miss it while I'm trying to stream. The main reason I haven't been doing that as of recently is, I mean it's pretty obvious, isn't it? It's Nations and Nobles. I gotta, you know, keep up with the story on that. And for those of you who have, you know, watched the episodes, paid like decently close attention, you're probably able to figure out why I gotta, you know, be consistently working at it. But at the minute, it seems beneficial to kind of just take a break at the minute. So I'm just I'm taking the opportunity to work at the survival world a bit. Besides, this is not like an official thing of like Nations and Nobles or anything, but I tend to separate the plots into acts. I feel like we're kind of over Act 1 at this point. I feel like or at least most of the characters are decently introduced, and some other elements can start to be introduced, you know, while still obviously still exploring the characters, because at the end of the day, I feel like characters are one of those things that you kind of constantly build up, as well as like the world, you know. Runs past Cyan. Van got through Act 1. Yeah, in a sense. So I figured, you know, that was a good, not like if anything, that was going to be a good stopping point for a little bit. For some reason, this actually reminds me. I gotta work at like a D&D campaign. I don't know why. I guess it's because like loosely story based, and Nations and Nobles is like partially D&D inspired. Not quite, not really. Well, I guess it is, because at the end of the day, how we kind of figure out different story elements is, you know, through collaborative storytelling, much like D&D. And I mean, the main difference is that, it's not done in real time, or, okay, quote unquote real time, because D&D isn't really in real time either, but, you're coming up with it on the spot in a sense. And in this instance, you kind of plan it out beforehand, but it is still collaborative storytelling at the end of the day. So it's kind of like D&D. Just a slightly different energy. I suppose it's kind of like how making a show works, right? I started working on a card game with your friend. Nice. Okay. What kind of card game are we talking here? What I guess a good question to ask is like, what inspirations are you taking for that card game? I'm not very well versed in card games, but I have friends who know about it, so I have like a very, very basic grasp on like what Magic the Gathering is, or what Yu-Gi-Oh is, or what the Pokemon card game is. Hey John, how you doing? So what you're saying is that we're doing a Nations and Nobles D&D run? That would be really fun. But no, I'll be honest, this is for a completely different group of friends. And I've been like very, very slowly working at it because, I mean, I cannot focus purely on one thing. It just kind of drives me nuts at times. Except for Minecraft. Minecraft, I have a tendency to, stay fairly consistent with for a long deal of time. But even then, I kind of have to switch it up every now and again. Like, for instance, I work at composing music. It's not very good music. I think I still need to learn how, like, a song structure really works. Although I'm guessing that, like, a song structure is mostly, it doesn't really have rules. More or less suggestions, but at the end of the day, I feel as though I am not quite connecting all the dots together as to what I should be doing with the ideas I've got, if that makes any sense. I'm not, like, there are times where I'm, like, wandering around at work, and I think of, like, a whole 3-minute song in my head, but when it comes to actually writing it, I just draw a blank. Okay, I am really rambly today, holy smokes. What are other friends? Basically, just, friends I've had IRL since high school, basically. The way Baloo said that makes it sound like I'm cheating on him. That's not a bad thing. Rambling is a good thing. Like sometimes, yeah. It depends on how... I guess that it kind of depends on how the chat's feeling that day. Because at the end of the day, you kind of have to acknowledge the chat as well, right? You gotta, interact with that. And that's why I like to stream in the first place. But sometimes I just get way too distracted. Although, okay. Kind of inspired by D&D. That's, wow, fun. I guess we just kind of happened to hit that. But that's really fun. So is it like the same lore as like your usual D&D type things, like dragons and wizard classes and what have you? Or is it more like the main gameplay is structured like D&D? Like, say, it basically, it would be an entirely new system, but with tabletop RPG elements. I feel so undesired right now. I'm sorry, Baloo. I have a life, okay? Nah, but I absolutely love having you around as well. Even when I suck at talking. Because... For those who don't know, I have, like, when Like, especially with certain people, I have a really difficult time talking for an extended period of time. And Baloo, with Baloo, I can talk for a good while, but it's just like sometimes I just hit that wall, and then we just kind of end up sitting in silence, which honestly pretty comfortable to just sit with them. I feel like Baloo would be that kind of person where, you know, if you're just like hanging out in like the living room, he would maybe he'd have to like bugger off to like do something else, but you can kind of still feel his presence and be kind of comforted by that. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh. We saw Minecraft mechanics with our own eyes. I gotta figure out a way to keep slimes from spawning here, because that's definitely gonna ruin the vibe. Kind of like a card game version of D&D. Okay. Okay. That sounds like fun. Okay, I gotta make sure I'm a huge cardboard game, huge board card game enthusiast. I even make my own ones too. Hey Van, remember it? Yep, I do. Welcome in. Sorry, I am not doing a good job with keeping up today. Sorry, but I gotta cut it short today. I will talk to you all later. See you around, perp. Have a good one. Hopefully, the card game development goes swimmingly. Cardboard game. I mean, I've seen it before. I remember one time I participated in a game of basically Poor Kids Uno, where we basically drew a bunch of the cards on cardboard. Mostly just because we didn't have it at the time. And we really wanted to play, so you know, that's what ended up happening. Because, I don't know, it's very rare that you can find, or at least it's very rare for me to find people who actually want to play Uno. Because people find it like a dissatisfying card game to play, because it's based all around luck. And sometimes it's like irritating, especially with certain fan-made rules. But I think that adds to the chaos. I find it really fun. Like, I unironically love it when somebody manages to pull off like a +8, you know, with the +2 rule, or the stacking rule, I guess I should say. Like, even if it's me, because then, you know, it's a funny moment. Oh my goodness, I have a gnat flying around. Uno is my second favorite game. Phase 10 is my favorite. I have never heard of Phase 10, if I'm honest. Not a thing I am aware of. I'm not very well versed with like a lot of card games. I just happen to know of like a couple. Like, I don't even know all of the like the 52 card deck. What are those particles through the wall? Weird. But hold on, I gotta check something. Okay. So what do I want to do here? Probably split this up. Before I mined this out, I actually had to clear out a bunch of water from the lake above me, because unfortunately I decided to dig under one of my lakes, and it was very irritating to get rid of, but we got rid of it, so that's all that matters. It's a blast. There's 10 phases, and each phase has a combination of cards you got to get before you can go to the last, or to the next round. Okay, interesting. So does everybody kind of do their own rounds? Or does everybody have to be on the same round at the same time? Because it would make sense if it was like everybody's at different points of progression. At the same time, you wouldn't be interacting with each other much, so I don't know. Okay, I need to refine my sponges. Okay, it's over there. I need to organize really badly. In case it wasn't obvious. Everyone starts on one, the other, so just go through the first 10 before other players. Okay, that's kind of what I figured. Okay, where did I put the sponges? Actually, no, it'd probably be in one of these off to the side, huh? Yep. I gotta figure out where I put the rest of the sponges, because I had 56 total. I put something away. Yep. Imagine being so bad at looting, you accidentally put something away. That's the wrong one. I need to differentiate these entrances, because it's sometimes a bit difficult to figure out which room goes to which. Because it all has the same basic pattern. It's really quite a bit of fun. Yeah, I'd imagine. Having that, like, constant pressure. I'm realizing this is not going to be working all that well. Because if I just keep doing this, it's going to kind of fill out on its own. Okay. I used way more than I should have there, but oh well. Okay. But after I deal with this water here, what I'm probably going to end up doing is trying to get a bunch of the... Yeah, I think I already mentioned this. Whoops. But yeah, once we get the soul soil going in here, which that's probably going to take a while because I don't have all of it on me at the minute. But once we get that done, I'm going to have to go through probably dealing with more water, unfortunately. Because I think we have to expand this out to fit the redstone because I did not accommodate for that, which not my brightest move, but whatever. Events I was playing on my private single player world, went to the end and found 6 end cities within sight of each other, all with ships. That's really, oh, that's what that was, is the glow squid. That's really handy. I think, I mean, you could always make like a shulker farm nearby, or just make something pretty out of it. You can kind of do like a highway system or something in between all of them. Kind of take that city aspect. Dang, that's a lot of elytras. That, yeah, that will be really handy for... Yeah. So wait, hold on. Yeah, no, but unfortunately that's like a single player world, so you can't, it's not like you can sell that to anybody. Okay, yeah, this is gonna be an issue. I gotta wall this off before I can do anything. Can you not, good sir? Oops. Okay, might as well. Actually, no. Do I even need to? No, I don't. Because This is where the redstone's going to be. It's not where the soul sand's at. Silly me. So I think we're done with that. Let's actually get on land so we can use this pickaxe proper. Never seen that before. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anybody get something like that before. Yeah, so I start a single player world just to mess around, and yeah, I think there is a lot of advantages to having a single player world because it allows you to be a lot more free with certain things, especially when it comes to like lag related stuff. Because for example, with this storage area, like I would not even think twice about making this out of chests if this was in a multiplayer world, because all that would end up inevitably happening is causing lag for basically everybody else that comes across it in the server. Although that being said, I'm probably gonna have to still do barrels in here because like I've experimented with numerous amounts of chests before, and there is a point where my computer starts to lag. I hope at some point Minecraft can kind of optimize chests a bit. Yeah, there are like certain mods, but they like more often than not they don't play well with certain other mods that I tend to use. So unfortunately, I can't really use them all that often. Because the idea with most of them is to basically draw the chest like a normal block until you open it. So theoretically, you're only loading one entity at a time, which, good idea. But for some reason, they always kind of skim the execution. It doesn't always work properly. I'm still trying to find a mod that does that. Not only for me, but for Ori. Because, you know, you don't want to go into somebody's base only to start lagging immediately because they have a lot of chests around. Like, obviously, you can always make the optimization to use barrels in your own base, but barrels are kind of annoying because they only have half the storage. Optimizing there, that could be done. And I feel like with a professional, like the professional Mojang team, I feel like they could definitely pull that off. Like that same concept. Because, I mean, think about it. It's literally just drawing all the chests as a normal block, and then whenever someone like tries to open it, then it's drawn as you know, the chest we have now, which is this like moving object. That's the main issue with chests, is the fact that they move. So that, yeah, they have to draw it like a bunch of times over and over and over and over again to keep up with that state. Meanwhile, blocks, they're very static, so they have a certain way of rendering it, which, you know, basically causes no lag. That's basically what I would want them to do with like your usual chest, until it's open, and then it's kind of replaced. Hopefully that makes sense. Are you going with the soul sand with slabs on top, or soul speed 3 effect? Oh, for the soul speed 3. Yeah, basically. The idea, I don't know if it will... I can do a little experiment here. Do I have iron? Yes, I do. But I can do this with... Oh, wow, I actually managed to do that for a little bit. Let's see if I can... Okay, that's not going to work. But if I switched... Oh, that's a little too far. But if I switched this beacon with speed 2 for a moment, Let's see how long this takes. Yep. But basically, I'd be moving around like this throughout the entire place, which will be particularly handy. Especially, this is one of the main issues with this storage space, is that it's just big and it's very long. Because I'm going for a very specific effect in terms of looks. So making up for it with speed is always handy. Now, obviously, I could always fly. It's not like I have a limited supply of sugarcane and gunpowder in this world, but it's still kind of fun to be able to move fast on ground as well. Hopefully that makes sense. And so I'm not going to be covering all of it with deep slate. Basically what I'm going for is like a Japanese shopping district, if that makes any sense. So the soul soil right here is the road. The deep slate right here is kind of like the sidewalk, and then you kind of have the storefronts right here. Yeah, no, I mean, like, when it comes to speed, I never like to cheap out. Like, even in the first season of Nations and Nobles, I used blue ice instead of packed ice, which I low-key kind of regret. If I end up doing the ice road for season 2, I will probably just do packed ice, because I'm not going to do that every season. Okay, so that being said, I need to get some more soul soil, because of course I do. Why do I have this? I am gonna have to replace my bow before too long. Yeah, I just happened to get the infinity enchant on this, so I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just deal with it. Okay, so let's get some steak. But yeah, I like when it comes to speed, I don't know, speed is just fun. Transportation, I just like when transportation is fun and not inconvenient. I'm back, had to make some tea. I might make some tea before too long. I did just have some coffee. Actually, you know what? I should probably just have water instead. Maybe I can have tea later. But there's no need for me to have, like, a massive amount of tea. As, for the record, I would never do this kind of a farm on a server. But let's be honest, just being able to like come by and then kill them with like fire aspect and looting is pretty convenient. You can't deny that. I'm just gonna look through here for a bit. I like reminiscing through my builds every once in a while. This is my single player world. Yeah. I think 3 to 5 cups of tea a day is fine. I like a decent amount of sugar in my tea. So, eh. Although it kind of depends on what type of tea. I guess I could always go for some green tea, because usually I go for like less sugar and milk in those. I need to get more TNT for this at some point. Maybe if I'm feeling it after the soul sand, I'll grab some more or soul soil, I'll grab some more sand. I do have tea, I don't have sugar anymore. Interesting. Is it a black tea? Or is it like a green tea? I know there's... Oh. Get out of here. I don't know why, but I find shooting gas to be really satisfying. Especially if you're flying. I just got Soul Speed 3 last night for this project to work, because I knew I was going to have to start collecting this stuff pretty soon, and I did not want to have to deal with the slowness of Soul Sand, so... But yeah, finally having Soul Speed is really nice. But yeah, I tend to be one of those guys that hold off on getting like the enchants you can't get infinitely till like the last minute when you really need it. So at some point, like I definitely need to get Swift Snake, because that's going to make a lot of things a lot easier, especially as I naturally start doing bigger projects, because big projects are fun to me. At times, I mean, not every project I do I want to do big, but doing big projects is fun because you often have to deal with a set of challenges you wouldn't normally have to deal with when it comes to a normal build. And a lot of them have to deal with speed, convenience, and I don't know. It's just very interesting. Also, I mean, let's be honest. Having something big and like being able to like kind of lead your eye up is just cool. It's very satisfying. I like big things. There's something super satisfying about doing a big project. Yeah, that as well. Like I with Swagtopia, last season of Nations and Nobles, I think I didn't really know for how long we were doing the season. So I just kind of went for a project that I could do infinitely and be theoretically happy with whatever I had. But by the end of season 1, I wasn't really all that happy with it, because it was like my progress was slower, and the season ended faster than I was expecting. And that's not really the fault of anybody. It just kind of happened. Oop. Oh, I'm already full. Not expect it to be that quick. I'm glad collecting this is pretty fast, though. Did I come from this way? That seems logically sound. Yeah, here we are. But also, when it comes to bigger projects, I try to make it practical, because like, say, you know, for storage, you can theoretically, nope, I keep the one I want to go to is always the last one I come across. There's a lot of, you know, advantages in having a big storage area, because the idea behind this, because it's not going to actually be this long. It is going to be this tall, but it's not going to be this long. The advantage of having, you know, a big place to do storage is that you can always expand it. Whatever you need, right? Okay, come on. Give me the speed. I want the speed so I can build this faster, because I have the patience of a hummingbird? Oh, okay, I walked over the hole already. But yeah, as you, like with season 1, with Swagtopia, I think I only really did one floor, and it was basically the smallest floor. I never got to doing the throne room. I basically just like did purely practical stuff, which was what I kind of had planned for the top floor. Because if you think about it, if you go to the top floor and then have an Ender Pearl stasis chamber, or a what we had that season, which was the waystones. From there, you can kind of fly anywhere else in the base. So that was kind of my thinking behind it. So I was able to do like all the practical stuff, but I wasn't really able to do the more like purely fun stuff. which I think is kind of what disappointed me. Because, like, back when I first started, like, really getting into Minecraft, I noticed myself, you know, only really being interested in the like, the stuff that's at least semi-practical. Like, say, for instance, you know, a storage area. Or, you know, something with, like, ender pearls and whatnot. Now, granted, with a lot of builds, I do want to add some sort of use to it. Because then it kind of encourages you to go back to it. I figured out one of the reasons I love big farms is I started playing more enjoyable. When I started playing with people I played with, mess around more, they actually... Yeah, but at the same time, with a server, you kind of have to be careful when it comes to bigger farms. Like like my general rule for farms is you know, make sure it isn't too server stress or too much server stress, and B, make sure it's like, if it is stressful in any way, like for example, my Prismarine farm in Season 1, because you could argue that since it's like constantly loading 2 dimensions, that it is somewhat stressful. To make sure that you have it out of the way of like anything. That's why it was like far away from Swagtopia and basically anything. That's kind of my general rule. Thankfully, like, since I've been playing since 1.5, I have a pretty solid idea of how Minecraft lag kind of works. So you know, I'm kind of able to counter that. Like, I remember back in the day, like, the first bit of lag stuff that I had to learn was when I was playing survival games as a kid. Because you had, like, this was back when servers kind of ran on a paper clip and a piece of paper, basically. So what would end up happening is that you would be exploring these chunks, and because there's like a bunch of different people exploring different chunks around the map, wow, this is going to take a lot of soul soil. But I am glad that I'm kind of feeling the full effects of it now. Am I getting lag spikes? Or is that just my imagination? Hold on. Is me simply getting speed? No. No, I'm good. Although I am curious as to why I am down to 200 FPS. If I look straight up, how's that handle? Interesting. Usually, like, I'm like bouncing around into the 100s as well. Okay, I'm gonna have to be careful with what I do in the future. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to seeing this much speed on my screen, therefore it's starting to look choppy. But yeah, it's probably even worse for you guys on the stream. Sorry about that. Never seen us lost so fast. Yeah, no, this is, like, especially if you have Swift Sneak, you can kind of just, like, sneak around at super speed. It's really funny. But I gotta get Swift Sneak first. Maybe as, like, a little break I can do, like, or at least try to find an ancient city. Or I guess, oh, that would take way too long. Because usually my way of finding an ancient city is just by mining around and then taking down notes if I happen to find one. I feel like I've definitely come across one at some point, but I just never wrote it down, which is unfortunate. And of course that is on the other side. I need to get like a proper way of getting out of this place. Because that is... How do you like the 3060? Pretty solid. The main reason I ended up getting it was mostly for editing stuff. Which, to be fair, I feel like the 1080 would have been a more like bang for buck purchase, because for those of you who don't know, the GTX 1080 is actually technically more powerful than the 3060. It's just that like the main thing the 3060 has over the 1080 is RTX support, which I felt like there was a genuine chance of me dealing with at some point, depending on how certain things go. Oops. But I feel like RTX is very similar to how 3D was for film, because at the end of the day, we already have new engines that other than ray tracing that are starting to get the job done, like say for example Unreal Engine 5's Lumen. And I need to figure out how Lumen actually works. I just purely from like a technical, like someone with a technical mindset would want to figure it out, because I don't know, like I feel like a much bigger contribution from that engine to the gaming community is Nanite. Like if I ever theoretically started making a game, I would probably go with Unreal Engine 5 purely for the sake of not having to do any like LODs, essentially. No, screw you. Get out of here. But that's probably just my opinion, and I've probably lost so quite a few people are probably lost at the minute, so I'm just gonna put a pin in that conversation. I went from a 1070 to an RX 5700. That's another thing I have to figure out is what the measurements are for AMD type stuff, because I know like I have a fairly good grip on GeForce stuff or NVIDIA, but I still need to come to grips with the AMD brand stuff, because I'm guessing the 5700 is probably pretty good. That's my first guess. And I mean the pros when it comes to AMD is that you generally get more bang for buck, but at the same time, oh my goodness, gasps, man, gasps. But at the same time, you get kind of some consequential loss of exclusive stuff, because of course everything else being exclusive with the company. Anyways. Ah, okay, gotcha. Oh, I just realized rain's gonna completely tear up stream quality. I need to get the particle rain mod on this instance, because that like rain is just no bueno for anything YouTube related. Tends to be cheaper, yeah. I think if I ever do like another build, which is way into the future, that would be like probably a decade into the future, let's be honest. But I would probably end up doing like something AMD related. Firstly, because it's probably just gonna be better for my wallet. Secondly, because I wanna learn AMD a little bit. But when but like considering what I do normally, because the main things I tend to do that are stressful are either rendering videos, because like that's usually kind of like effects stuff. Like say for example, you can tell I'm proud of this one because I bring it up so many times, and I do apologize, but I do really enjoy the ending of season 1 of Nations and Nobles. I feel like I am kind of overall disappointed with myself for season 1. Because I feel like my sense of pacing was really off. Like, I had a solid idea, but my execution on it was just terrible. And that just mostly just being on pacing. I feel like I should have had, just generally shorter videos. Because I think I was still learning at the time that you can't, like, I was trying to basically force lore into my normal type of Minecraft survival video, which works to an extent, but once it kind of becomes a little overbearing, it starts becoming a little hard to watch for people who want to catch up on lore. Something flying in my face. And that's the weird thing about doing a Minecraft lore related thing, is that you gotta, pacing is really interesting to nail down, because you're not only working with a visual medium, but you're also trying to collaborate with other players and ensure that like everybody's pacing is solid. But back to what I was saying. But yeah, probably the most stressful thing I've edited, like stressful thing on my computer that I've edited in a good while, was the end credit sequence to season 1. And I think that's mostly just because of the different effects I ended up doing. I actually ended up using 2 different editing software for that. Mostly because I like working with free stuff, because I don't like paying money. So there were certain effects in you know what, I should probably bring a shulker box, huh? I gotta find what shulker boxes I have. But there were some things in HitFilm Express. I could probably take this out of here. There were some things in HitFilm Express that I wanted to utilize, but I had to basically render some things out in HitFilm Express, and then do some basically do finishing touches in DaVinci Resolve. Free is the way forward, indeed. Oh my gosh, I just completely forgot why I was emptying out that shulker box. Good grief. Okay, good, it is empty. But yeah, no, that's probably like one of, like, in terms of editing, that's probably one of my favorite projects. But it was stressful on the computer. I had to, like, that's one of those things where you have to do a test render, because it can't play live on your computer. Because with all the, like, the waviness effects and the heat effects that I was kind of doing, it was kind of stressful. And I wasn't getting smooth movement from it. So you kind of have to ensure that the movement that it is doing, it fits the vibe of what you're trying to accomplish. That's very important for me, is accomplishing vibes. Funny enough, I actually like the first thing that I did while in production of making that video was that I actually ended up doing the credits first, because I recognized that I was going to need plenty of time to get that done. until we're in a position to earn money from this anyways. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna ever ask for money when it comes to this sort of thing, because I don't know, it just never feels quite right for me. But you know, not obviously not to put anybody else down, but it's just like, yeah, no, it's just not something I'm comfortable with. So yeah, no, I'm probably going to be constantly working with free products. Although, like, I guess the main exception for like free stuff is like if I want to commission art for any reason, like whether that be like pixel art. Although I'm at least decent enough at pixel art to make something that, you know, isn't immersion breaking. But if I'm wanting like a genuine piece of art, or what's probably more likely is a piece of music for Nations and Nobles, because, you know, it's really tough to skim through songs and find the one that like specifically fits the vibe that you're doing, especially if your main search engine is something like Newgrounds. Because you have to do some digging to find what you want, but it's often worth it. Like, say, for my last Nations and Nobles video, if you look at the description, the link to the song that I did for, you know, taking over the Ocean Monument, that's a Newgrounds link. I found that via Newgrounds. Very handy, but you do have to do digging. So yeah, and there are times with Newgrounds where it doesn't quite have the vibe that I want. That's why when I ended up doing the end credit sequence, I chose the song first, just so I can kind of mold everything else around that instead of having to do the other way around. But there is something I kind of want to do specifically at some point in time that is going to require like a very specific feeling track. And there is actually somebody that I have in mind to do it. But that is going to have to... That is a story for another time. Essentially. Without wanting it from others. That is true. But like, I feel like... I don't know. I feel like if I ever... The thing is, I don't know how ads work with YouTube anymore, so I don't even know if you can do this. But basically, if I ever got like YouTube partnership, the main motivation would just be to like turn ads off, because I hate how they made it so that every video has to have ads now as soon as it reaches like 100 views. Like, I try not to use hate lightly, but it's just like, I'm trying to, you know, accomplish a certain thing with my videos, and ads kind of take that, like, take the air out of it. This is probably like a really bad habit, but I always try to make creative freedom paramount. Which, probably not the... Like, I feel like if someone worked with me and I was like a director of something, I would be a nightmare to work with. Like, at least in terms of doing something that, you know, would theoretically make the film more money. Because I'm good at working with a budget. That's not the issue. My issue is making decisions based around money rather than creative freedom, because inevitably at some point that's something you're going to have to do, because that's just kind of how the world works, unfortunately. Because at the end of the day, whenever you're in a project like that, it's often backed by money, and money is expected to come out of it. So that will that's just a hurdle that I'm gonna have to learn to get over. Because for those of you who don't know, the thing I do want to study later in life is filmography and editing. And possibly directing. Whether that be like ads or because that's something I've recognized is that like I'm not gonna be like a movie director, as awesome as that would be. It's much more likely that I'm gonna be like a director of like an ad agency or something like that, because that has a higher demand, and that's definitely a hurdle that I'm gonna have to get over. Okay. How did I get netherrack? You know what? It was probably from the ghast. I think about it. I'm glad I have this giant biome right next to my nether portal that I can absolutely ravage and care nothing about. I mean, slightly unfortunate because I think the Soul Sand Valley is probably one of the prettiest biomes there is. Probably because I just like blue over red. That's probably the main reason, if I'm completely honest. But, you know, when you need soul soil, progress waits for nobody. Okay, how are we doing there? Okay, grab this. I have a feeling that we're gonna be just like with having a full inventory of this and a full shulker. I feel like we're just gonna be just short. Ooh, I need to watch my shovel. In fact, I'm going to switch this now, just so I don't accidentally do something dumb. I almost did earlier this stream with oversight here. Isn't that suiting, or fitting rather? Okay. Okay, that's almost filled up. I think I need to find a different patch here. Because I mean, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll get the last bits of here. In DRG, we would call this mining your crust. Funny little story about that. So a friend and I, we were playing in a public lobby for Deep Rock Galactic. That's what it stands for. And the main concept of that game is basically gathering resources to meet some sort of quota, or you know, completing some sort of objective. And one of them is mining a particular ore, Morkite. And there were some people who were just kind of leaving like the smaller bits around the edge, what we call the crust, and basically just passing it by, and we were wondering forever why we didn't have enough. Because we had explored the entirety of the cave and we still didn't have enough. And apparently, yeah, that crust matters. So it's just funny to see. So we had to run back and get all that. So now we have a rule, which is like mine your crust. Well, there's actually two rules. Is like don't take over someone else's ore vein, and like always mine your crust. Okay. So that's full. Now we've got to deal with this inventory. I mean, theoretically, I could go back right now if I really want to, if I'm really low on patience, but I know that in the long run, it's going to be better if I fill it up completely. For, you know, for a sloth, I don't have much patience. I tend to, like, a lot of my projects kind of tend to be based around convenience. Or to increase the speed of certain things. Okay, good. My boots are holding up. Hey, Kristen, how are you doing? How are you doing this? I guess it could be afternoon for you. But I have a feeling it's morning. How you doing this fine morning? Not great. Very angry. Oh, crap. Okay. What happened? Is it something to do with adulting? Because I know adulting tends to make me very irritable. Okay, it's I consider, like, past 12 to be afternoon. Personally. So I actually, no, it's probably more like noon, isn't it? I feel like afternoon would start at like 1. 1 or 2. So let's say noon. It's more football crap that might end with my kids not going to state. Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, that's, is it like some technical issue? Like, so, like, not like literally, like as in like electronics or something, but like some sort of rule issue? Because if that's the case, yeah, then yeah, I definitely understand that. I had a friend who went through something similar. He was a computer science major. And his project was like really impressive, but there was like this one random thing that technically made it so it didn't qualify. I feel like he would have wiped the floor with like everybody there. He's freaking brilliant. And he definitely would have made it far with that if it wasn't this one random thing that they didn't even clarify that well on their website. I imagine Kristen's typing out a paragraph. Let's get rid of the torch. No one needs a single torch. So I think I came from over this way. Is it possible for me to... No. Actually, no. No, this is correct. Because I remember these paths. Ooh, I don't have any fireworks left. Oops. No, yeah, this is definitely the right direction. Yep. So, one of the coaches brought a kid that was removed from Andy's GV team last night. This morning, a friend got a message from the coaches saying her kid was supposedly not on the roster. Oh, no. So, are you thinking that they, like, replaced one kid with another? Because I don't know if that's what you're getting at, but if that's the case, then yeah, that's a dirty play. Because, I mean, yes, it is, like, football is a competition, but at the end of the day, you know, it's with kids that are, you know, trying to learn something in life, and if you just rip that from them, that's kind of messed up. The removed kid. Okay. Kid bullied her kid, so she found the messages. So see messages, the board, and they are now threatening to take all the equipment. Wow. Yeah, that's a mature way of handling the situation. That's ridiculous. You know, I found a really interesting video essay last night while I was mining that thing out down there, and it kind of relates to this. And it's basically this question of like, how do you act when nobody can stop you? And that, unfortunately, like, you know, some people tend to be kind of nasty. That's ridiculous. It's a massive anger is stressful. Yeah, no, I can imagine. Jeez. Okay, let's put this in here for right now. Boop. Into the well. I should probably actually no, I'm just gonna watch this because this is fun. Let's be honest, this is fun. Okay, there we go. Oh, wow, that was perfectly 64. Although I always tend to toss one out because of crafting recipes. Oop, gonna have to replace this before long. But yeah, that's a ridiculous way of treating the situation. Sorry to hear about that, Kristen. Hopefully everything turns out okay. Ooh. Okay, looks like I'm gonna have to wait to take some of these down. Oops. Inventory is slightly too full. Oh, I should probably mention that it's definitely a possibility that I'm going to do 2 streams today. Because, I mean, I have the time, but it's not... Like, this first one's going to be Minecraft. But, the second stream is going to be on Twitch, and is probably going to be me trying to do some drawing. Oh, wait, I just realized I don't have the materials to do that. Oops. Okay. I guess I can't promise anything. But I'm gonna have to find some equipment. You'll know if I start streaming. Which I know is extremely vague. Because I've been trying to, like, find a good time to, like, just practice drawing. Honestly, you know what? It's probably going to be, like, a combination of me trying to do music and then drawing, because my brain is extremely sporadic. But I gotta... And also, it's a good time for me to learn the drawing tablet. Because I've always done pencil and paper. But I need to, at some point, learn drawing tablet. Because I have one. My sister, like, gave me her old one a good while ago. I need to find... I just need, like, it's in, like, we packed it away a good while ago when moving to this house. So I gotta find it again. If I don't do it today, it will probably be tomorrow. But I kind of want to do like a every October do kind of like a art-based type thing And I mean, theoretically, I could do a bunch of like music stuff, but there's a point with music where I like where I just start getting overwhelmed. So I just have to stop and take a break. So I'd probably, I guess I'd have to label the category like a just chatting stream, because I would be switching back and forth, and I would rather not be switching the category every 5 seconds, because I feel like that would end up being misleading, because I would like be doing one thing for a while, and then, you know, I feel like I'd mislead people by switching to another. So I feel like just chatting is probably just the best. We'll see. I'm kind of just thinking out loud about that. But I already have like 2 concepts for what I do want to draw. I don't think, as much as I'd love to try and do it every day, like every day of October, because I was thinking of calling it Art-tober, like, no, it'd be like this, yeah, Art-tober. But, you know, I don't think I have the energy to do it every day. Like, I mean, think about it. I do not stream very often, and there's reasons for that. We might finish this. It's hard to say. I hope so. That'd be really neat. The nice thing about this project is that this is actually like, what was it? Actually, no, I'm stupid. Never mind. Forgive, ignore my ramblings. Next up, I'm gonna have to find a more strategic place to put this beacon. And then I'm probably gonna do 2 beacons. 1 resistance, 1 speed, because inevitably I'm gonna be taking a decent amount of fall damage in here, because, well, more inertia damage, because inevitably I'm gonna be flying throughout here. I'm gonna randomly run into things. I'm not a very safe flyer, so I'd rather not have to deal with too much health loss. Maybe regeneration would be a better idea, because I mean, then I would be able to. Well, okay. Here's the thing: if I take a lot of damage very quickly, regeneration's not going to help much. So I think resistance might be the play. Oop. I think we have just a bit left. Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got it. We've got it. Actually, I want to run a slight experiment once this is done. I feel like I already know the answer, but always good to experiment. Because like this place was built with flying in mind, because there's going to be like 2 different levels of chests, and my main way of getting to them is through flight. So that's that. But I think I just answered my own question. Like, hold on, how long did that take? Oop, that was a bad start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2. Yeah, no, this is obviously slower. It's still neat, though. It's definitely still pretty neat to go that fast, but flying's definitely a lot faster. Which kind of sucks. I kind of wish there were like there was a way to be even faster than this, because like I suppose if I did, like, hold on. Like, I'd have to get, like, dolphins in and around the place. And then I'd have to... like trick the game into thinking that I'm swimming and then combine all of this, because then I feel like I would actually be faster than flying. But with that, because you're thought to be swimming, you kind of tend to drift all over the place, and I want to be a little more precise than that, so I don't think it's really worth it, unfortunately. But I do wish, like, say, minecarts were faster. Although, hold on, isn't like 1.21.1 have like some way of making minecarts faster? I need to look into that. Because if so, I want to try something on Nations and Nobles if possible. Don't mind me, I'm Googling how to make fake rocks for scouts. So is this like a... Is this like a candy kind of rock? Is it like a something that looks like a rock that's like for a trophy, or what is your plan? Give me all the details. Okay, so hold on. No, don't give me ads. Ay, ay, ay. I keep saying this, but I need to figure out how to get music loaded locally. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Make sure I know that this is going this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Now we can go this way. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to texture this deep slate at some point, but... Doing a scavenger hunt escape room out first... For out first day of scouts on Monday, need a fake campfire rig. Ooh. That actually reminds me of, like a fake campfire rig. That kind of reminds me when I was a kid... And in elementary school, they'd have like these like days where we'd be put into tents, or there was like a tent and we'd like be able to go in them for a little bit. I don't know why that was a thing, but it was fun. I love camping aesthetics, especially during the fall. Fall is one of my favorite seasons. It actually is my favorite season for a number of reasons. No, you're good. You're good. I got it eventually. 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. Okay. So this is kind of the basic sidewalk you would see. And that would go all the way down. Oh man, I'm just starting to realize the scale of this project. This will be fun. This will be fun. Okay. I'm slightly intimidated, but this will be fun. Okay. Sorry, I had to check something out. I need to get this checked out, but if I do have ADHD, it definitely went off right then. Let's just say that. Okay, now for the painful part, which is me mining these sides out even more. I guess I should probably turn this back into haste, as fun as the speed is. Get my last moments of speed. Go speed racer, go speed racer, go speed racer. Go. I don't know if anybody understands that reference. Like that like the only reason I know of that is because of my dad. I'm so glad that it got like a movie adaptation in 2008. Like if you've never seen, like, okay, if you like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I highly recommend and or The Matrix. I highly recommend watching Speed Racer from the Wachowskis. It is my favorite film. At some point, I do want to like recreate in Minecraft one of the sets that they used in that movie. Like I'm pretty sure Ori has heard me talk about Speed Racer at least a dozen times. Now I have that song. Yay, we have another Speed Racer fan. It just sucks that that film bombed at the box office, because there was a Speed Racer 2 planned out. They had a script for it, but like you know, the first film didn't do too well, so they had to drop it. I will never forgive Warner Brothers for that one. I'm sorry, but I am forever salty at Warner Brothers. Because Speed Racer 2 would have been so epic. Because I feel like Speed Racer is the only time I've seen a film actually like fully celebrate a thing as an adaptation. Yeah, no, the Wachowskis wrote a second script. It was never, I mean, it's never been posted, which I'm kind of thankful for, because I mean, maybe someday. But I have a feeling that if there's ever another Speed Racer thing made, the Wachowskis are not going to be in it, which sucks, because they're definitely my favorite filmmakers. Because I mean, they made the Matrix, V for Vendetta, like Speed Racer. Like V for Vendetta and Speed Racer are like two of like my top 5 films. Like V for Vendetta is probably like top 3. My second favorite film is probably Ford v Ferrari. Sorry, I'm just kind of sitting around and rambling, aren't I? But I gotta like, as like a side project for what was my main channel, I gotta come up with like a project that's not too much to edit. It would probably just me doing like some Minecraft gameplay with me talking about something else, but I want to like come up with some sort of list for like favorite movies. And another project that I do want to work on is this is one of the very few instances where I actually have the title of the video planned. Just a little storage room? Yeah, just a little storage room. So little that I put soul soil down to get around. But what was it exactly? On exhaustive review of Speed Racer 2008. Oh, not not 2008. Or something along those lines. Because I want to literally go over every single shot. Because there are things that I have noticed that I feel like some people would find interesting. Like, I am so tempted right now to pull up a specific shot. But anyways, hi Birchie. Sorry, I'm going on another ramble. There's like, I am... I am so tempted to go on a ramble about one very specific, like 3-second shot. I am not joking. But anyways, I need to actually get to doing what I should be doing. That's so fun. That actually takes me a while to get through here. Yeah, we're about to have some water flood in. That's just brilliant. Yay. In fact, you know what? I should probably make a smarter way of doing this is making a wall first and then get that water out of here via the sponge. Oh, wow. The water did not save me from that damage. Interesting. Okay, where's the other last block? There it is. But, what world are you playing on? This is my survival world. This is what the channel started with, actually, before Ori and I even knew each other. Which is crazy to think about now. But, it's basically a bunch of works in progress. Because I can't finish a project, apparently. Nice, how long have you had it? I've had it since... that's actually a really good question. I mean, it's not that old. But it is older than Nations and Nobles. What the heck is my recommended feed at the minute? Okay. How long ago was that? Okay, here we go. This is... Okay, so... The... early April 2023. So it's... over a year old now. My kids got invited to play on a team because of other people. The kids might be going. Yeah, yeah. I hope that situation can solve itself. That's a decent length of time for an MC world, to be fair. Nah, I mean, like, for me, not really. Because I feel like there's definitely those worlds that... like, I feel like a good amount of time for a world is like 3 years. That's kind of like my brain's definition. Although I will probably, like, for this world specifically, I will probably always think of it as like not that old. At least until I probably won't think of it as that old until like some glitch happens because of an update. I would not be surprised if that's when it sinks in for me. I'd love to have the same world for 3+ years because, like, that's one of the reasons I wanted to have a single player world, is just so I can, like, have these long projects. But yeah, let's get a bunch of stone, and if I'm short on stone, I am not going to forgive myself because that means that I completely ignored grabbing any of it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, past me, for once. Have you ever had those moments where you just absolutely hate your past self for making a simple little mistake? Okay, so I guess I gotta figure out how... I guess you guys are about to get a little sneak peek of what I have planned. I gotta open up another instance, though. Van, I do that all the time. Yep. Oh, no, you guys are not going to see it from off of this. Hold on. You guys get to see my creative world for a hot moment. Yay, here's my mess. Oh, you guys want to see... Okay, I'm already getting off track, but you guys want to see some early redstone of mine? I could probably do this like so much easier now. Way less complicated. Oh yeah, that's right, I had a little pig randomizer. Good job, me. But anyways, this is kind of the basic concept right down here. Reminds me of Indian Hunters Creative Worlds. Yeah, this is mostly just a place for me to think of concepts. Oh, I think right here is the, yeah, this is a project from Season 1. Just me figuring out aesthetics. I keep getting distracted. But here's, like, I still gotta figure out the colors up here, but this is the basic idea. So back here, I gotta calculate how many blocks I need out. So this is where that stops. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's the width that I have. So many projects. I mean, if you think about it, not really. This is like like something from Season 1. This is like basically a mood board for Swagtopia. That I think was like a test for how long hoppers take. This is... Oh, yeah, this is the fortune tray project. Or rather, like, this is part of it. This was me trying to figure out, like, certain aesthetics. This is kind of the block palette I'm going for. That's a fortune tray in of itself. The only thing... That's probably one of the few things that I actually have fully built, because I was having such a issue with the ropes. And then I figured out that, like, inputting glass panes every once in a while kind of helped vary it. But here's like a little selection thing where the redstone is needlessly complicated. I would probably do this way differently as it is right now. The idea behind this was that for the fortune tray, I could basically choose wherever the items went. So I could say have it go to the auto smelter. If I wanted it to go directly to this chest, I would hit this. And as you can tell, it's very slow. Or I could have it go directly to the storage. And yeah, it takes a moment, but it does technically work. I didn't understand how certain T flip-flops worked at the time, so I had to do a very roundabout way of doing it. Oh, here's a door? Oh, this was the door for this basement of Swagtopia. Oh man, gosh, I'm getting way too off track. But that's just me, isn't it? Redstone baffles me. I feel like once you start, I think the first major step, because it used to baffle me too, but I think the first major step, like the first major hurdle you need to get over, is just figuring out how comparators work. Because that helps expand things by a lot. What? Oh, this was me testing a mod. But yeah, this is the basic kind of idea. So I need to figure out how the item sorter would work. So I'm gonna do your usual item sorter. It's the initiation that I'm gonna have to break up. Storage system of all sorts. Yeah. Because that's the most useful. So I am actually blanking out on how to do this for a moment. It's been a while since I've done this. Not like I couldn't just figure it out, but you know. Where's stone? Stone, and then redstone comparator. I'm not going to do the entire thing, but as long as I know how much space I got. And then that. Comparator. And boop, boop. And boop. And then boop. And dink. And then redstone torch. Boom. And then redstone repeater. And then so question, am I going to have enough space up here for the different storage systems? I think I will. Yeah, absolutely, because most of it would be like up here. Ooh, which means no, I'm good. I left myself some extra space up here. We're fine. Okay, good. I did not want to mine up further. So that means I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra blocks. I want to make a door that requires 4 items to open it. So basically what you would be doing is making 4 different item filters, and then basically taking the comparator signal from that, like say, like you can either take this as it's doing its output and then kind of lead that off to lock something. Pro tip, if you have redstone like this and you have a repeater doing this and you turn this on, you can kind of lock the signal. So say for instance you had this going, so yeah, let's say you kind of had like a redstone torch at the end, and oh, actually no, it would work, because then you could have like a sequence of this same exact system, and all of these would have to be unlocked in order to finally open whatever you want to open. That's fairly simple redstone stuff. But yeah, as you can see, as soon as I turned that off, that was able to go through. Sorry, that was a little bit of redstone tips and tricks. But yeah, so 5 blocks. I need to remember that. So that means I need to recalculate something here. Namely, I need to figure out... Oop, thank you, Baloo. That's probably a good thing, too, because I will probably not remember that. I can probably turn this up decent ways now, because I was basically just trying to make sure that me mining stone was not going to take too much time, or make it be too obnoxious. Okay. Oop, hello. Okay. So if I theoretically have... What do I have? Let's use sea lanterns for chests, because I'm pretty sure the chests are like right here. Because then you have that indent and then the thingy McBobber. So it would be 1... Actually, no. Let's do it this way, because I already kind of have an idea over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would need... So this is the wall right here. So I'd need a 1, 2, 3, 4 block gap, right? And then that would be the wall. Yeah. And then I would be able to delete this wall, and that would be the 5th block. Okay, got it. So 4 blocks in between the 2 walls. I need to figure out how to get out of here. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Feeling a bit better. Slept so much yesterday it helped. Hopefully I have enough energy to go back to work tomorrow. Yeah, let's hope. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 4-block gap, right? Yep. Okay. Can't wait to do this again. At least it's a smaller area this time, but... And I think I will be able to... I don't have to separate these in order to do the sponge columns. But this is going to be a lot of water to do all at once, unfortunately. I wish I thought of this beforehand, but oh well. For now, I'm just marking this. So I'm thinking I want to go back and then make myself worse. Yeah. Tell that to your job, though. Like, I understand. Well, maybe this is more of a thing because, like, I'm generally a younger person. And some people my age tend to make an excuse for why they don't want to do work. So, and sickness is a pretty common one, so maybe that's why. But maybe for like different age groups it's a little different. 3, 4, and then boop. Actually don't need to do it that tall. Keeping this height in mind is going to be interesting. Hello, studio. How you doing? Just chilling out, getting storage stuff going, but I gotta drain out some water before I can do that. Ooh, that's gonna be inconvenient. I might. Not the best. My dog died 3 days ago. Not the best. Ugh, sorry to hear that, dude. Hopefully they're in a happier place at the minute. As they all say, all dogs go to heaven. Okay. Ooh. I've hit a wall. Okay, sometimes I laugh if I'm like stressed or whatever, or dealing with like loss or dealing with a heavy subject. So sorry about that, but like that I tend to take that saying to heart. So no, it wasn't really a joke. I realized that was a bad idea the moment I did it. I'm like, ah, crap, that's gonna be called out. But yeah, no, sorry to hear about your loss, dude. Yeah, okay, so the right side's not gonna be my problem. It's gonna be the left side. Yeah. Because this just goes into the abyss. Okay, I think this is the right depth into the unknown. I mean, I know this ravine pretty well. It's just... Oh, nope, I was off. Wait, no. No, I think it's... Yeah, it's this that I got off. Dang it. How am I hearing a skeleton? Don't mind the damage sounds. I'm doing okay. It's just... things and stuff. It's just how we do it. We tank the damage. Do you like looking at sketches? I know it's so off topic. No, I mean that's fine. Oop, I gotta sleep so that the stream doesn't die. But yeah, I do like looking at a lot of art. Mostly because I tend to try to empathize with the artist behind it for whatever reason. But yeah, maybe. Maybe I will drop a follow. Artist chill, indeed. I was actually thinking about doing some drawings. I was talking about doing some drawing streams earlier this stream, and it's just like I need to clarify for a moment. I am not good at drawing, but I mean, hey, I practice. You got to practice it at some point if you want to improve. As embarrassing as it is. I think part of my problem with drawing is that sometimes I don't have the patience. Like with Minecraft, I have plenty of patience for it. Unless I'm doing custom trees. For some reason, custom trees peeve me. But, I think I'm more of a carver than a drawer, but I do want to learn it. Because I have done some woodworking in the past, and I love that. But, I haven't had any access to like woodworking tools for a long time, so... yeah, kind of on the expensive side when it comes to hobbies. Especially if you want any decent equipment. Blue, I could tell you stories about me and my family's dark humor. Please do. I mean, as long as it's stream appropriate, of course. I'm so glad that this thing does not go to the bottom of the ocean. That would be pain. I mean, you can put your channel name, but maybe not a link. Like, no offense, but like, I don't know you, and you could put in a phishing link. I don't know. you got to be precautious with that kind of stuff. No, yeah, no, that's the point. But yeah, maybe I'll check it out later. Should I, like, go out and get water breathing? Because, like, I'm not in mortal danger, but man, is that annoying. To constantly hear you getting damaged. You're messing with the vibes. What is it? Like pufferfish or something? I don't Unfortunately, in this world, I have not really fished, so I don't think I have any pufferfish on hands. Okay. I'm trying to think of like a way to make it easier on myself, but I think it's just best if I just keep going. Just deal with the bubbles. As unfortunate as that is. Oop, I did not mean to grab spider eyes. I guess I need to... Yeah, I need to grab more stone. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe if I reword it, I could tell my favorite. I mean, if it's too difficult, you could always DM it. I'm not like super against like dark subjects myself, but it's just like you don't want that in the middle of a YouTube chat. Especially not for like Minecraft. Okay, surely I have more stone around. Yes, indeed. Okay. Slime murder. I don't know why I felt the need to go after that slime specifically, but I don't know, they looked at me funny. Best excuse ever. Yeah, it's too dark no matter how I word it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Oop, I am floating down. That is not the block I wanted to get. There we go. Okay, cover the top. You mind? There we go. Wait, why am I doing the top here? It's not where it is. Yeah, buffoon. Oh no, we gotta avoid the bubble damage. Ooh, that's actually handy. Get down here a little bit faster. We should decorate Spawn Island for Halloween for nations and nobles, I'm guessing. I gotta figure out how though, or we gotta figure out how, because I don't want to do anything that's like too involved. Because I like redid the roof of one of my buildings, or the town hall, last season, and I never took it back down. So I gotta do something that it doesn't require too much commitment, I think is my issue. Because if I do something too complicated, then I'm just gonna not want to tear it back down. Okay. Oh, here we go. Bubbles! Makes sense. Yeah, I'm definitely willing to help in small ways. But I gotta figure out how. Actually, no, like, you know what? I want to do, like, decently sized things, but I don't want to have to... Like, if it's adding something... I don't want to add something to a pre-existing building, I think is my main issue. Because if I do that, then I'm gonna have to, like, redo certain blocks, again, once Halloween's over. But if it's something like, say, a couple of poles that weren't there before, that, like, have some Halloween-themed colors or banners kind of going across them, and all you have to think about is, like, tearing them down after the fact, then I'm down. So I guess something that's easy to tear down is what I'm getting at. Yeah, boy. I just know that when I'm, like, filling this in, I'm gonna have to get through this, and then I'm gonna have to take out more water because of the nature of this beast. Although, no, the way I do it, I'll probably be okay. Why are there so many drowned? Great, thanks for the idea. Now I have to decorate on Minecraft. You're welcome. Or I guess it should probably be Baloo saying that. Baloo, give your credit. There you go. I miss how arrows used to work in water. For those who don't know, arrows used to not be affected by water. It would just fly through. But now it stops dead in its tracks. After like a couple blocks. Or we just make a Halloween town somewhere in the world. That is very true. We did make a separate Christmas area last season. So it's not all that far-fetched. Oh, I had to sneeze for a moment. Yeah, unfortunately, even though fall is my favorite season, I am very prone to allergies. Like fall and spring. I appreciate Kristen. Okay. So that side, like the side of this side is done. I guess I need to actually fill in the top and bottom. Something fun that isn't lore related, so it's just an enjoyable experience. Yeah, oh, wait. Now that I think about it, did we include the Christmas area? With like the stuff that we I gotta see if this is accurate. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, cool. And I need more blocks. Of course I do. I have to swim out of the endless abyss. I hate fall and spring. Oh, it's cold and damp in Ohio. I guess I can see that. I quite like the fall in Pennsylvania, which I believe is just north, right? I don't know. I like it when things are at least semi-wet. Because it, I mean, gives a good excuse to be inside, basically. And also, I don't know. I like walking around when it's raining. Just east of us. Ah, okay, gotcha. I know my map of the United States. Not at all. But yeah, I don't know. I like the rain to a certain extent. Now, I mean, a constant downpour of like thunderstorms, maybe not, but like constant sprinkles, I'm okay with, which is what we tend to get in Pennsylvania. I say we, but it's like I don't really live there. I live more in Texas, but I do visit family in Pennsylvania every now and again. I don't mind warm and wet. Warm and wet, that kind of has its upsides and downsides because it depends on how warm we're talking. Because if it's warm and wet, then it just gets really humid and uncomfortable. If it's like like a very temperate warm, if it's like, you know, 70 degree kind of warm, then yeah, okay, fair enough. But if it's like 75 degrees or more, no thank you. It gets way too uncomfortable way too quickly because of the humidity. Warm enough to be comfortable. Okay, gotcha. I can understand how like being cold and wet could be uncomfortable. Because to me, like, as long as I have a hoodie, it's fine. Now, granted, like, a solid hoodie that actually resists rain. And not like the usual, like, cloth, like, cotton hoodies that you sometimes find. Like, say, Under Armour. Their stuff tends to not do so well in rain. Good for keeping you warm, though. I'll give them that. But usually when I get a hoodie, I get one that is... I forget. I mean, I have my hoodie right around here. Hold on. There's a certain material that I'm thinking of. It's not quite like a rain jacket, but it's I mean, to be very fair, this hoodie is fairly old, so the text might be faded away if I can even find it. It might be polyester. But I find that polyester tends to be like a good balance between if it is polyester, it's a good balance between the two. It has some resistance to rain, but it's not completely useless at keeping the cold out either. Now, granted, it does. I mean, if you're in constant like hard rain, you do feel it starting to get wet at a certain point, but it's not too bad if for like sprinkling. Okay, I think I got the... Did I get the bottom? To be fair, I might only have like a section of the bottom. It could dip again on the other side here. I need to double check. Okay, if it dips again, it's into like a water cave. So I'm not too fussed about that. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up running into a water cave because look at this. That means gravel fell where I dug at a point in time. So, we'll see if we have to deal with that. I'm so... Okay, I might raise this because I feel so paranoid that I'm gonna run out of space with the redstone. But I like... I'm gonna say... No, I think I should be okay. Yeah, I think I'll be okay. Because I have the roof part of the design incorporated, and yeah, that's quite a number of blocks above where I have the last chests, or first chests, whatever. So yeah, I think I'll be okay. I'm naturally going to be paranoid about that further into the project. If that does end up being an issue, oh well, I guess I just gotta start. I just have to make kind of a different section. Yeah, I think I got a way to get around that so that water doesn't pour onto the redstone. It's just gonna take some effort. I always thought Ohio was for lovers. I think that's what the song's called anyway. Ohio is one of those... Oh, right, no oxygen. Ohio's one of those places you would probably not actively travel to, but it's, you know, it's a fairly solid place to live, at least for my very limited experience with it. That's the vibe that it gives me, but it could be very, very wrong. And that's not like to rag on Ohio or anything, it's just how it is. That's a lot of places in the US, let's be fair. You pretty much hit on the nail, yeah. Because okay, here's all of my experience with Ohio, right? Every single time I go to Pennsylvania to visit family, we sometimes drive into Ohio a little bit, and to see like a little like Christmas light drive-through type thing. And that's like the very limited amount of Ohio that I see. And it's almost always at night, so you can't see very well. So I'm kind of surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised I actually managed to hit that on the head. Oh my goodness, this looks so ugly. Think about the environment, Van. Think about it. No, I refuse. Either cornfields or ghettos. Ah, okay, I see. Some parts of like West Pennsylvania are getting a little ghetto-ish too, which is unfortunate, but that's how it is at times in life. I guess my issue isn't like so much the fact that like the ghettos exist. It's just more or less, well, I mean, kind of, but it's just kind of, it says a lot on the local economy, you know, and what people are going through. I mean, there's places that are neither, but like 75% of Ohio is, yeah. I do remember the fields. A lot of fields. There's a reason why some people joke about it just being like the place of corn. I'm actually going to replace this gravel out because I do not want to deal with that. We have a Cedar Point with the tallest, fastest roller coaster in America. Oh yeah, I think I did read about that somewhere. Unless I'm thinking of a different one. Although, I mean, biggest, fastest thing in America, I don't know how I would mistake that, but who knows. You never know. Because, I mean, I guess there could be other places that would have been considered the biggest at the time. And they really did kind of ramp up the competition with that in the, like, mid-2000s, I feel. So, it could be different from what I'm thinking of. Top thrill dragster. I don't remember the name very well, so I'm not gonna probably remember it. I just remember a specific feature of it. I apologize for the random amounts of damage. I'm okay. This time I'm right by the surface, so might as well. Where's Ori when you need her? Ori, I need your water breathing potions. I hit sand. Okay, I think that's... No, okay, the sand's gonna be an issue. Sand. I love gravity blocks. They're my favorite. No sarcasm in that sentence whatsoever. Okay. They altered it and made it better. Yeah, I feel that one. There was something that Beardo used to make fun of me for in season 1, which is essentially me blaming... Like, we were dealing with a the what was it called? Trail ruins? Yeah. The trail ruins, and I kept complaining about block updates because there are times where you'll have floating gravel, but you don't know it's floating gravel until you mine it, and then, you know, all the gravel, including suspicious gravel, would fall, and then the suspicious gravel would break. So I was constantly complaining about that, and Beardo started making fun of me for it. Which, to be fair, slightly deserved, but still. Don't tell Beardo this, but I'll admit it was pretty funny. Nope, there's a small little space in here. Right, is this... Nope, this is even. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, I can't use that because that has glass. I'm noticing that I'm constantly forgetting where my entrances are. Probably because I have quite a few of them now that are just kind of randomly spattered about. This is probably a really bad working hazard. But oh well. I'm the only one in this world, so I don't care. I won't care until I inevitably die to it, like 2 years into the future. assuming I'm still playing Minecraft 2 years into the future, which I probably will be. I've been playing for over a decade. What's 2 more years? Okay, so that being said, I need to get those sponges back. I need to find the rest of these sponges because I have no idea where they went. I was just dealing with them yesterday, so I have no idea. Okay, just throw this crap in here. You can see how quickly my stuff gets disorganized. This is why we're doing an auto sorting system, because I don't like working for silly things such as organization. Hopefully it won't be long that Ori will be back. Yeah, I think she said October 3rd is when her power comes back on, but I'm imagining that there's gonna be like a couple more days there where she's trying to recoup some things. I'm glad she's doing all right, or at least that's what it seems at the minute. If I just like completely lost my sponge, it's gonna be it's gonna be really inconvenient. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Good job, me. I put it in here for some random reason? Nope. How's this thing doing? I kind of had to fix it for a moment. Okay, not... Okay, so I think this is the new stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, it's working again. I kind of had bottles in there, but then I realized that there was nothing to take the honey bottles out. So it was just... It, at some point, kind of just tries to shoot new bottles, but then it does nothing, so that kind of breaks the system. So I got to figure out a way around that. I was so worried about her and the tiny Oris. I'm so glad she was able to let everyone know they were all okay. Yeah, the main issue is just like cell service and electricity. Okay, so what am I doing? Trying to find sponges, right? Okay, let's see if there's some over here, maybe, possibly. Maybe I just left it in a random chest, which I definitely should not be doing, but oh well. What else am I gonna do? I leave in like tools? That would make sense, but everybody knows that I tend not to make sense with these things. Yeah, no, I think I just outright lost like a good deal of sponge. How? Good job, Van. Good job. But yeah, I am glad that she was able to let everybody know that she was doing all right. I was keeping like loose contact with her, but yeah, responses were pretty rare for obvious reasons. That's a yikes. Well, I guess we're gonna try and do this project a little bit short. Actually, did I even finish this bit? No, I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah. Or actually, I might have not done the sides. Hold on. Like, down towards this end. Like somewhere right here. No, I think I'm okay. I'm just having that pre-project paranoia that I tend to get. But I wonder if it's possible if I just left it in another for whatever reason. No, I would have seen it. Yeah, okay. I'm probably gonna find it at some point in the future and be like, how'd this get here? And I'm gonna completely forget why and when I was using it. And I'm probably going to pass it by, thinking that I'm going to remember where it is, when in reality I'm not going to actually remember, and then it's going to be another year before I find it again. Or something along those lines. Okay. So let's get down in there. I need at least a couple blocks for me to stand on. There we go. Let's see if I can do this. Ooh, nice. So I need to remember 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay. Now time to mine this out, and hopefully it doesn't take too long for haste to activate. Yeah. There's like... we unfortunately have a bit of a gnat problem inside the house because unfortunately the people we're renting it from do not allow us to use any solutions that are, you know, a little more permanent. Which I'm not entirely certain as to why. It's not like spraying the house would damage it in any particular way. But I don't know. So unfortunately, I'm gonna admit, this is probably a bad habit, but I tend to like eating at my computer. Because, I don't know, I like to either watch a show or, well, as of recently, anime. Or YouTube videos, especially video essays and like game reviews or anything, like any lengthy type video that's like inquisitive with food. Oh, there we go. That hit me a little unexpected. Ooh, I just realized I need to seriously light the place up. There we go. It's probably not going to last us too long, but we can always grab more. I'm so glad I have a Prison Marine farm now, because then I can abuse lights like nothing. Dropped in to say hi, don't tell my boss. Noted. Hello, welcome in, blank. How's the, here's the gravel that I didn't want to deal with. Oh wait, no, this is the place. Okay, I thought I was dealing with gravel from like where this should be, but nope, it's just part of the terrain that I covered up. We're good. But yeah, we were planning on getting rid of this crap anyways. It's not like I have any redstone in here yet, so we're all good. Just a little bit of inconvenience. Oh, actually, before I do this, before I get too far, I need to make sure I actually sponge it. I completely forgot about that. Okay, is there a way for me to... Like, I can't turn my brightness up any further, and I don't know how to affect my gamma, so... You know what? I think I'm gonna do this part off stream, because my voice is starting to get a little exhausted anyways, and there's some things I have to do, and I'm still not certain if I want to do the Arctober stream later on today, so it was probably best I save it for my voice a little bit for that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It was fun just chatting around while dealing with some of the more tedious parts of this project. Yeah, Thank you. And have a good one.